What it do? Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and YouTube. I say, what it do? All right, y'all. Welcome back to another Mukbang Monday. All right, so today I'm going to be talking about, as the title said, Tyler Perry's new Netflix movie, A Fall from Grace. Let me lift my damn glasses up because it's getting on my nerves, just sitting on my nose and whatnot. And then also I'm going to be dining on some Conch Salad. Now I haven't had this in about a year. And I love conch salad. It's one of my favorite dishes to eat. I usually don't buy anybody else's conch salad because usually, let me put it this way. If it's family or friends and they're selling it, then I usually buy it to show them some support. But however, if not, then I make my own for the simple fact that I like conch salad and I want my conch salad to have a lot of conch in it. Because if you ever bought conch salad before, depending on where, but usually the conch is cut up nice and fine and small because conch is relatively kind of expensive. It's usually about $13 a pound and you get like a couple of pieces, and that's why I get 2 pounds because I want a lot. And so people, when they're selling it, usually they're trying to make a profit, which is understandable. So they'll cut up, the conch small and whatnot, and it's usually good. But, I like some of my conch salad be conchity. You know what I mean? I want some conch in that bit. You know what I'm saying? Give me some conch in that bit. All right, so y'all, I'm done being a fool. All right, so I'm gonna what I'm gonna say. I don't know. I'm just so ready to eat and hungry, y'all. I'm just stumbling over my words. But no, at the end of the video, y'all, I showed the process of how I make my conch salad. So if you've never made it before, I give you an idea of how to make it. Now, when it comes to conch salad, you make yours any kind of way you want to. I just give you the basics of it. Have conch. It's conch salad. So if you want to watch how I make mine, just stay at the end of the video and I'll show you how I make it. I was going to put in the middle, but I was like, nah, ain't nobody trying to, they're probably just fast throwing it to get to the discussion about the movie. So, all right, so I'm going on 2 minutes. I just started, this is too long. All right, so y'all go ahead, look at these clips from the movie, and I'll be right back. Welcome back. All right, so as y'all saw, those was the clips from A Fall from Grace. All right, so let's go ahead and get into discussion. Now, I'm going to say spoiler alert. Unfortunately, for me to have these discussions, I have to go through the movie. I really didn't want to because most people just want to know, like I said before, and I will always say it, most people just want to know if it's good. Unfortunately, when I go through these discussions, I got to sometimes go through the movie. So I do apologize. Spoiler alert. If you haven't seen it, go watch it, then come back to the video. Let me know what you thought. Now, let me start off by saying I am a big Tyler Perry fan, but it's usually when it comes to his comedies. I'm not a drama person, so I don't like dramas at all. It's usually comedy, science fiction, and fantasy and action. I don't do dramas, but if it's by a screenwriter or a filmmaker that I like, I'll check it out. I just recently saw Acrimony with Taraji P. Henson, and I thought that was pretty good. Excuse me, but y'all know. Yep. I start these videos and I got gas like crazy. It's my nerves. Anywho, so I decided to give this a shot because everybody on Facebook like, oh my God, it's so good, it's good. I was like, all right, Tyler Perry, that's my boy. He made it, so let me go watch it. So, A Fall from Grace. Basically, it starts off with a lawyer named Jasmine. She is a public attorney, and her job is just to go and settle the case. Most of her clients have already pleaded guilty. So she goes down there just to settle the cases. However, she meets Grace, a woman that is in prison who is accused of killing her husband. Now, Jasmine has went down there to let her know, listen, this is the plea deal we're going to go for. We're going to plead guilty. Jasmine's like, listen, I'm going to get you like 15, try to get you 15 years. And Grace is like, can you just please get me to a prison that's close by to my son? So Jasmine goes down there to do her job, but Grace ends up crying. And that's a new one for Jasmine because usually people who plead guilty usually are kind of guilty and they don't cry, but Grace did. And that touched her and that made her feel like, okay, maybe this woman didn't do it. So she's already feeling the pressure of her boss of just go down there. We ain't got time for this. We ain't got the money for this. Just go settle. Then her friends are like, listen, you're good. You're a good attorney. fight for this woman. And she's like, I can't fight for this woman. We don't have the money to defend her. Her friends are like, well, one friend is just like, that doesn't make no point. Just do it. Just fight for this lady. You know, you got to fire. You got to blah, 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 blah. So she's feeling pressures from two ends. So she goes down and she starts talking with Grace. And so Grace goes into her story and what happened. So it starts off with Grace, excuse me. Y'all, this is so damn good. Oh, Lord have mercy, Jesus. Okay, so the movie starts off with Grace coming back. Her and her best friend Sarah, played by Felicia Rashad, comes back from her son's wedding that's at her old house and she's now divorced. And so they're basically talking about how Grace's new husband, Grace's new husband, Grace's ex-husband's new wife, is basically living Sarah's dream and happy, and and Grace is feeling like, in these movies, how, the middle-aged woman doesn't feel as sexy as she used to, not feeling wanted, still trying to find her purpose and that kind of thing. So in the movie, I ain't talking about middle-aged women in real, even though some may go through that, but I don't want nobody feeling some type of way and be like, oh, you trying to say middle-aged? Calm down. I'm talking about it in the movie. So then we find out, that Sarah has been trying to get Grace to go out. Don't stay at home all the time. Go out, have fun. And so basically Sarah tells her about an art gallery, our little art show, and she convinces Grace to go. Grace goes, and Grace meets Shannon. Now, Shannon is one of the photographers at the art gallery, and he meets Grace there because Grace is looking at one of his photos. So they ended up talking, they're meeting, and next thing you know, he gives her his number, and then he has hers. No, he gives her his number. She doesn't have his. He gives her his number, but he doesn't have hers. She has his. And he tells her to give her a call. Now, at first, Grace is like, I keep saying Sarah and Grace, y'all gonna get confused. Grace. Sarah's the best friend. Grace. Sarah is the best friend. I'm sorry, I keep mixing them up. But Grace ends up calling him back. Curiosity kills the cat. And so she calls him back. They start talking. They go on a date. And I just want to stop and say that, Tyler, I'm not coming for you at all. And I've never seen this happen, so I could be wrong because some of y'all may have. But I'm mad they was having wine at a diner. Like, I've never seen that before. I'm pretty sure diners have wines, but I've never seen, like, they were just sitting down with their glasses of wine looking fancy. And I'm like, wait, y'all at a diner, y'all better get you a Coca-Cola or a milkshake or something like that. What y'all doing drinking Chardonnay? But I just thought that was funny. So they're dating, and it doesn't really say, unless I missed it. I did watch this twice because I don't like having like opinions. Can y'all hear me? I'm sorry. I just don't want this mic all in my way while I'm trying to eat, but at the same time, y'all need to hear me. Where was I? Yeah, I don't know if there was a montage. I watched it twice because I didn't want to have an opinion on this and do a video and not watch this movie twice. So they start dating. And it doesn't say how long they've been dating, but he takes her to this place. There's fireflies. Sorry, y'all. There's fireflies and... Are you serious right now? So, there's fireflies and whatnot. And he gets down on one knee and asks her to marry him. And, of course, she says yes. But she does admit she said yes before she even really thought about it. But I think the idea just got hold of her. And she's like, oh, my God, I'm getting married again. So... they end up getting married. Everything is good. He comes in one day while she's at work, and she works at a bank, and she has all her her accounts up that she works with. Let me take my hand off because it's just shaking the table. All the accounts that she worked with. So he comes in and brings her flowers, and he wants to take a picture of her because he's a photographer. So he brings in a camera to take pictures of her. Now, from the previews, we already know he's a bad guy, and we already know he's the one that sets everything that goes bad in Grace's life in motion. So I'm not about to reveal anything. So basically, he's really taking pictures of the screen of her accounts and all that stuff. So he ends up getting all her passwords and all this stuff, and he ends up taking out all this money out of her accounts. He ends up taking taking out her mortgage on her house or something. I think that's what it is. something about a house and is about to get foreclosure. He did all of this while forging her signature. But Grace doesn't know this. Grace goes in the bank. They're telling her this. Her boss, she gets fired. Homeboy says, listen, you're fired and we want all that money back. So when she goes to the bank and finds out about a mortgage, the woman's like, listen, it got notarized and everything. This has to be a signature. It was notarized. So Grace is like, well, where did it get notarized from? Now, she goes to this old abandoned house. All the mail is backed up, and that's apparently where it got notarized and all that stuff. Now, jumping to her friend Sarah. Sarah owns, she doesn't own, she takes care of an older woman by the name of Alice, played by Cicely Tyson. And she basically says, yes, I take care of her. She has no family and friends, blah, blah, blah. I'll tell you why I had to stop and tell you that, because it plays an important part later on in the movie. So once Grace figures out it was Shannon that did all this, she brings this to his attention. She wants him out. She wants all the money back. Apparently, because I got questions, but not right now. I got questions because there's just a couple of things I felt was just weird. He basically says, well, in the laws, all this money's mine, but I don't know how that money's yours because you stole it. However, he said all the money's his because of the laws and all that, and she's like, I want all that money back and blah, blah, blah. She clearly has proof that he forged her signature. Isn't that a crime? Like, I don't know anywhere where you can forge someone's signature and that's okay unless that person's unable to do it. It's one of the questions I got. Y'all answer that for me if you know. Maybe I missed it. I did watch this twice, and I tried to catch as much as I could if it was explained. And so basically he's like, I ain't going nowhere and all this and all that. So Grace comes home one day. She hears noise upstairs. Homeboy got a chick upstairs. A whole chick. So Grace comes in, barging through the door. I want you, mama. So homeboy like gets out of the bed, butt ass naked, throws Grace out, closes the door. Now this chick he's upstairs with like, man, you brought me to your mama house. It's like that. I hate to use this word, but it looked like it got her even more moist. Like, it was just like, yo, like, what these girls at? Most chicks I know, your mama walk in, that's the end of that. Like, first and foremost, why don't you live with your mama and then this heifer just walked in on you and you butt ass naked and you just gonna throw her out with your dangling just swinging? Like, I don't know. This is a movie. It's a movie. I don't get too deep into it. So he comes downstairs with this chick. Grace is sitting in a chair looking all distraught. He tells the chick, hey, I'm going to see you again, and blah, blah. Mind you, his wife, Grace, is just sitting there. Girl leaves. Shannon sits down in a chair. They're having a conversation. Grace gets mad, gets a bat and wear his ass out with that bat. Throws his body down the stairs. Now, the only person she has called is Sarah and told Sarah, hey, I killed Shannon and blah, blah, blah. And so Sarah's not really believing her because Sarah's like, you wouldn't do that. I don't know. So Sarah goes to the house, but there's no body there. But Sarah in the courtroom during the trial says, hey, well, no, she didn't say in the courtroom. She told Jasmine when Jasmine was doing the checkup, like what she said, she called you. And she's like, yes, but I also saw Grace's son leave the house when I got there. So it was hinted that Grace's son may have seen the body and got rid of it so his mom wouldn't get caught. So that's what they're thinking. So now they're thinking Grace is trying to protect her son. So in the court, they have Sarah on the stand. The prosecutor's like, what was the conversation you had? And Sarah doesn't want to say because Sarah doesn't want to get Grace in trouble. But she has to answer because she's under oath. So she basically tells the guy, because she's under oath and under pressure, Grace told me she killed Shannon. Boom, trial over. That's it. We done. There's nothing else you can do about it. Even Tyler Perry's character told Jasmine, the lawyer, you just let your witness walk out saying that your defendant is guilty. So she feels bad that she didn't question Sarah after that. She just was like, that's it. I can't say anything. And she didn't question it. She felt bad. Her and her husband had an argument. Jasmine, whose husband is a police officer. They had an argument, and she basically said, and he's basically like, you're giving up, don't give up. She goes back the next day to try and get the judge to let her call Sarah to the stand again. The judge is like, no, we're done. That's it. That's not how this is done. And she's like, please. And he's like, no, it's done. As a matter of fact, we're going to do this, and then we're going to my chambers. Jasmine's like, I'm not going to your chambers. I'm calling Sarah up. The judge is like, don't play at me. It's done. It's over. Jasmine, once again, nope, I'm calling Sarah. Sarah to the stand. Judge looked at Sarah. You better not bring your ass up here. We're done. But Jasmine was persistent. And so the judge was like, you know what? Forget it. If you keep going this, I'm going to hold your ass in contempt. He did. So he sent Jasmine to jail. So basically, Jasmine was going to sit in jail until she apologized to the judge because everything was over. Sarah had already told everybody Grace was guilty. So once the jury got back and said that Grace was guilty, everyone's crying, everyone's upset, everyone's mad. And so Grace goes to her son, who is being comforted by Sarah, and she's telling her son, it's going to be all right, don't worry. And her son is just distraught, poor thing. And so Grace happens to glimpse at Sarah's necklace, which is what Shannon was wearing. And so she kind of put two and two together, like, why is Sarah wearing a necklace? My husband, who I killed and nobody can find his body, is wearing the same necklace. So basically, Grace gets into prison. She's like, I need to call my lawyer real quick about something. So Jasmine goes to go talk to Sarah. Now, this is where I was talking about the old lady that Sarah takes care of. Because as Jasmine goes to Sarah's house, or on her way there, she sees Alice walking, the old woman. So now she's thinking, okay, this old woman who probably has Alzheimer's, don't remember things, she needs to get her back to Sarah's house. Alice is telling her, I don't want to go back. Don't make me go back there. So Jasmine thinking, this woman she old. She just needs to help. Let me just get her back to Sarah's house. But as the audience, you can tell something's not right about this. Why does she not want to go back to Sarah's house? So she takes Alice back to Sarah's house. And basically that's when Alice was telling Jasmine, listen, I don't work here. I'm sorry, I don't live here. And Jasmine was like, and kind of just brushing her off. And so Alice was like, this is my address. This is where I live. And it's that place where Shannon got the thing notarized, the signatures. And that's when Jasmine put two and two together, like, wait a minute, that's where you live. That's an abandoned place. So basically, Alice remembers everything and basically tells her that she is kidnapped and that Sarah has more people down there. And you find out that basically Sarah's kidnapped all these women who apparently don't have friends and family, which I'm going to bring up because I wrote some stuff down, y'all. I'm toward the end now. And so basically Alice is like, I don't live here. She has all these women down here. And then you find out that the real Shannon was at the beginning of the movie where this older white lady jumps and kills herself on the roof. So you find out that that was actually Shannon. And she was the photographer. And that's when Alice says, yeah, Shannon's a woman here. She killed herself. Her name was Shannon. She took beautiful pictures. And then Jasmine showed her a photo and was like, is this one of Shannon's pictures? And it was. So you find out who Grace was married to was not the real Shannon. That was somebody else. So Jasmine goes downstairs and she sees all these older women in the basement. And then she gets snatched, basically. Somebody snatches her up. We all know it's Shannon. In the meantime, her husband gets a radio call and someone shows a mugshot of Sarah. And he's like, oh shit, my wife just went there to go check out something. So he goes over there. Sarah's home at this point. At this point, Sarah's gotten home and you open up, she opens up the basement door and there's a little closet and that's where Jasmine is being held all tied up. And then come around the corner is the real, not the real Shannon, I'm sorry. It's her son. So the guy who's been playing Shannon, who's Grace's husband, is actually Sarah's son. And he's in on, so this is the twist. Sarah set her up. Sarah set Grace up to go to this thing to meet her son. And then, which is just so weird, meet her son. And her son was, was getting all her information, take all her money, all that stuff. So Grace ended up being betrayed by her friend Sarah that set all this up. So to make a long story short, they ended up, her husband ends up getting there. Handcuffing Sarah. Sarah somehow runs away, gets away. They end up shooting the guy that played Shannon. I can't remember his name. I don't think they ever said his real name. I think they did at the end. But the guy that was playing Shannon, I'm going to just call him Shannon. They shoot him. I'm assuming they killed him. Grace gets off. And as she's coming out of the courtroom, because they get all the information, finding out the news, the people are telling you all what happened. And so they come out of the courtroom and Grace basically says to the news, it's not really over yet, because it's not, because Sarah's still out there. And at the end of the movie, Sarah actually gets another job to take care of an older woman. and some woman's mother, and Sarah goes in the house to go meet the mother, and that's where the movie ends. So, ooh, excuse me, sorry y'all. So I hope that makes sense to y'all. I have to learn how to condense these little reviews of what I'm talking about into like simple little sections that happen. So but I hope that makes sense. But so basically that's the gist of the story. It was all this. It was the twist was that the best friend set her up with her son and all that stuff, and her friend ended up being like this con artist. Overall, I thought the movie was good. It was okay. I'm not into dramas, so it wasn't going to really like captivate me. But let me put it this way: I don't watch I don't watch anything twice unless I liked it. If I didn't like it, there's no hell I would have sat through it twice. I'm sorry. I would have just did the video, said what the hell I had to say, and kept it moving. But I did like it. I thought it was okay. I thought it was good. I was able to sit through it again. It wasn't bad. Now, these are the questions I got. Excuse me. And maybe some of y'all can answer this stuff. Maybe I should have Googled it, but I thought it'd be fun for a little discussion. If anybody cared to, comment. So I figured, let me have a discussion. Maybe some people know about this kind of stuff. Now, Grace hit Shannon with a bat, and there was blood everywhere. So, wouldn't there have done some sort of DNA testing, and would have came back somebody else? It wouldn't have come back as Shannon unless Sarah had like samples of Shannon blood, the real Shannon, and just put it around the house. But wouldn't they have done some sort of DNA test that would have tested that, okay, you said you killed Shannon such and such, but that's not whose blood's in your house that after doing the testing. I don't know. Maybe that, like I said, it's why I watched it twice to see if any of this stuff was explained. And I didn't see that. So if y'all know, y'all let me know. Because I thought that was kind of weird. I was like, but if it's not him, wouldn't the blood test show? Because she wore his ass out. No, she hit him with the bat, y'all. Like, it wasn't like a takeaway scene. Like, she wore him out. And that's another thing. He should have had some sort of brain damage. Because y'all, when you see it, it's just bah. And you've already seen, you know what I'm talking about. She wear his ass out with that bat. You know what I mean? So I'm figuring like, and then when you see him, his head is bandaged up, and he has like black eyes and whatnot. But no, man, the way she hit him with that bat and the way that blood was going everywhere, she had to have cracked his skull open, brains and everything. I don't see him being alive after that. And if he was, he should have been in a vegetable state. There's no way. There's no way he could have been alive after that. All right. Talked about that. Check that out. And somehow jump down to this one where, why the fuck? I put laugh out loud on the paper, y'all. I put Sarah whooped his ass because that's what I wanted to talk about. And I put laugh out loud. Shut up! All right, so my next question. Shannon was a photographer. Like, nobody knew her. I mean, she jumped off of the roof. Did she give her a false information? Because, and at the beginning, Jasmine's husband was the police officer who was the one there trying to coach her off from jumping. So when they jumped, unless Sarah rigged something up, there should have been like, I don't know, like it's just some unanswered questions that just didn't sit well with me. I was like, well, didn't they do testing on her, an autopsy? And she had no family. She had a husband. She said that. But maybe they didn't have any kids. But you telling me between Shannon and Shannon's husband, the real Shannon, they didn't have like brothers and sisters and nephews, like nothing? And she was I didn't say she was a famous photographer, but her work was in the art gallery. And some lady pulled the fake Shannon, the guy, away to talk to him. So I'm like, maybe she didn't know the real. I don't know. Y'all tell me. Y'all tell me. All right. About that. Also, we're living in 2020. You telling me Grace didn't Google Shannon? I mean, this is a photographer. This is supposed to be somebody that's kind of known, even to have like an art gallery going on or whatnot. She didn't Google Shannon photographer. Like, I know some of us probably would have. You meet somebody and you're like, okay, let me go ahead and you take pictures and shit. Go ahead and go. You know what I mean? Google it. Like, Now I'm not going to say Facebook because he could have easily made a Facebook um, of his name, and the older woman didn't look like she would have. She looked like she's retired. Honestly, she looked like she was retired from all the photography. So it's not like it looked like she was taking up pictures all the way up until Sarah took her. It looks like she was retired from it. So, but still, you didn't take pictures. She ain't got pictures. I don't know. Y'all tell me. Y'all tell me. Also, another thing I had. It's quite a bit, y'all. I'm sorry, quite a bit. But another thing I had some questions about. Another one. She had proof that he forged her signature. I felt, and she had footage from the bank. Why didn't she go to the police with this footage and this? I mean, because he forged her signature, so that means she could have took pictures of the abandoned house. She could have took the address down, took pictures of the abandoned house, showed the footage of her husband going in there and forging her signatures. So why didn't she go to the police and be like, hey, listen, he forged all my stuff? And the bank would have been like, well, damn. Like, I mean, y'all, I've never really, excuse me. Sorry. Because I just recently took out a loan myself. And I had to prove of residency. I had to show my driver's license. I had to show, what is it? A recent pay stub. I had to do all this, and I'm still in the process of doing it. So I'm thinking, like, how was he so easily able to go in there, forge her signature, get that notary thing, all that stuff done? And when he signed all those papers, the guy didn't look at the signature. Well, a lot of times these people really don't, to be honest with you. And then realize he put Grace. Like, I don't know. You didn't have to show an ID. Y'all tell me. Y'all tell me. All right, next one. All right. That's the bat. All right. Another thing that, and this is kind of like in with the writing. Tyler Perry, don't be mad at me, please. But I thought it was a little careless that Sarah, would be wearing the same necklace as her son, Shannon, would be wearing. I thought that was because in reality, I don't see that happening. Because if I'm going to go into some sort of criminal plan with somebody, I'm not going to wear anything you're wearing. I would want to be as distant from you as possible, especially if we're trying to portray we don't know each other. I would not be wearing anything similar to you, and it wasn't just some generic necklace. It was very, it's the word I'm looking for. It was very, I can't think of it right now, the word I'm trying to use. It was very different. So it was very noticeable. That's why Grace noticed it in the courtroom, like, wait a minute, why are you wearing that necklace? You my best friend. Why are you wearing my husband's necklace? So I felt like, okay, that's unusual. I mean, like I said, it goes in with the writing. I know it's for us to put two and two together. I get that. It's for the audience. But in reality, I don't see that happening. I don't see somebody who is in cahoots with somebody and wearing a very elaborate type of necklace that isn't worn by everybody. It's not like she had some sort of Harry Potter necklace on. And Grace could have been, oh, Shannon likes Gryffindor too. No, it was a very elaborate type of necklace. That's why Grace was able to. Nobody's wearing that. So why would why would Sarah wear that? I just thought that was careless. It didn't make sense to me. Y'all tell me. Y'all tell me. All right, what's next? I think that's about it. Oh, why didn't she lock Alice in the basement too? I'm not getting that, because Alice is walking around. Clearly, she's not as crazy as she's made out to be. I just thought it was careless to, like, maybe if Alice was Sarah's aunt, then I can see her having some sort of compassion. But like, yes, I'm stealing your Social Security, but I give you a room. I won't put you in the basement, but I give you a damn room. But I was like, but I don't think she's related to her. So I'm like, why would you leave her walking around like that? Especially if you kidnapped her. That don't make sense. You kidnapped this lady. You ain't finna let nobody walking around you kidnapped. She's not as crazy as you think. You can tell, yeah, you can tell she's a little old and she's not all there. But at the same time, she was still able to tell Jasmine everything. So I don't, and that's why Jasmine was able to see her, find her walking out of the house. Like, what? Like, no, you put everybody in the, you put, I mean, ain't no point in being humane now. You got bitches in the basement. You might as well put everybody down there. Like, I don't understand why. I just, the whole time, I'm like, Sarah, you could have got away with it, but you let the old lady walk around. I don't understand why. Hell, you don't put everybody else in the damn basement. You might as well put her in the basement, too. Well, y'all tell me. Y'all tell me. All right. Second. So, Jasmine tells her husband, who's the cop, that he's going. This is the last one, y'all, I promise. Goes to tell her husband. She tells her husband she's going to Sarah's house. Now, the husband already knows she's at Sarah's house. The husband, out of nowhere, gets a ping on his little radio because he's arresting a guy to put him in a car. One of the police officers send him something on his computer. It's a mugshot of Sarah. I'm like, okay, who? So I'm guessing what happened was Jasmine told her husband he's suspecting Sarah did something. She suspects Sarah did something and whatnot. And so he may have told the police officer to run this for me, run this through. And that's when the police officer saw the mugshot of Sarah. I'm assuming. Because that mugshot came out of nowhere. I'm like, y'all could have used that early on, you know. But then you wouldn't have had a movie. But yeah, I was like, that mugshot that's coming out of nowhere. Nobody saw this ahead of time. Nobody. So I was like, okay, all right, whatever. Y'all tell me. All right, so that's it, y'all. That's it. I'm done. That was the little questions I had. If I missed something, tell me. Be like, yeah, that was explained in this scene. Let me know, because I watched it twice. I didn't see any of it. And I was just left with all these questions. I was like, well, the movie's good, but I have these questions, though. Maybe Tyler Perry said, maybe you can tell me, sir. I'm sorry. I didn't see it. I watched it twice, man. I didn't see it. I ain't quite understand. I'm sorry. I tried. I did, but I didn't. But I tried, bro. I did, but it's good. Give it a shot. Give it a watch. I enjoyed it. Like I said, I watched it twice. So that's it for now, because this video is going on 33. And then again, at the end of this video will be how I made this conch salad here. Give it a watch. Give it a like, because someone suggested I did that, because I post a lot of food stuff on Facebook. All right, so that's it, guys. Once again, if you are still here, thank you so much for staying. I got more stuff coming your way. If you are your first time here, please like, follow, and subscribe, and look at some of my older stuff. I still have movie ideas I have that I want to put up, clips and stuff like that. But right now, I am moving this a little bit slowly, because right now I'm getting into the pattern of making videos at least 3 times a week. It's not as easy as y'all think it is. It's really not. A lot of people, they come down, these YouTubers, and be like, oh man, they make all these money. All you gotta do is get on and make a video. You gotta make a video that stick, and you gotta make a video that people like, because there's a lot of things that go in to YouTube. Now that I'm doing it, I'm seeing it's a lot that goes into it. So these people work hard. It may seem like they don't, but there's a lot of work that goes into it. You know what I mean? So that's it. I'm done. Thank y'all so much for watching, and thank you. Thank you for joining me here at Mystic Shadow Films. Decided to stay and watch how I make my conch salad. Now remember, this is how I make mine. You can make conch salad any kind of way you want. So don't let nobody be like, oh, that's not how you make conch salad. That ain't real conch. Listen, when you eating something and it's just for you, You eat it any kind of, make it any damn way you want to. And if you're making it for somebody else, let them be grateful and blessed that you decided to make something for them. So I'm gonna show you how I make my conch salad. If you never made conch salad before, it's really not hard. It's very simple. And I'm gonna show y'all the process. Now, in this bowl here, I got about 2 pounds of conch. Okay, you can get as much as you want, a pound, 2 pounds, 3 pounds, whatever you want. I usually get about 2 pounds. That's good enough for me because I like for my conch to overpower everything in the conch salad. So I make sure my conch salad is conch salad because I like to have lots of conch in it. Okay, and over here I'm gonna have diced yellow onions and then tomato trinity. Now, usually I used to use a lot of green peppers, the mixed green peppers, but I realized I actually like tomato more than I like peppers, so I started using, oh, I'm sorry, who the hell is sending me notifications? I'm doing a video. All right, so anywho, I'm making I use tomatoes. I used to use green and red and yellow peppers, the mix, but now I use tomatoes, and I find I like it so much better. And then I'm using this lemon and lime juice. And then hot sauce, my crystal hot sauce. But when you're making your hot sauce, when you're making your conch salad sauce, always make sure that you're testing as you go, as you put these in. You don't want to, I never hardly use all of this. I maybe use a little bit more than half. Because what happens is lemon and lime already have a very strong flavor, so it will overpower your conch salad. All right, welcome back. All right, y'all. So I had to cut it off and do some stuff and then come back and show you guys. So what I did was I added the onions and the tomatoes in this bowl here. I haven't mixed them up yet. I usually don't mix everything up until I put the conch in. And this is my conch here. I chop my conch up in big chunks. Now, when you buy conch salad from somebody, usually their chunks are not this big, because conch is a bit on the expensive side. It's usually about $12, $13 a pound, depending on where you get it from. And then you can get your 5-pound box for about $60, depending on who's selling it. This local market near me is selling it for $80. I'm not buying 5 pounds of conch for $80. That's just too much. But you can usually get it for about close to $60, $50, a 5-pound box. But I cut mine big up like this. And like I said, when you buy conch salad from somebody, they usually cut it up real fine. Because remember, if they're selling it, they're trying to make a profit, which is understandable. So they usually cut up their conch in little, about maybe the size of these. They'll cut it up real fine, and that's usually why I don't buy conch salad from people, because I want nice big chunks of conch in mine. So that's why I just make my own. If I can't find conch anywhere where I'm living, then I may settle for buying conch salad from somebody if they're selling in the area. It's hard to find. Like, I go to a seafood market all the time, and they don't sell conch there, which I hope that they start doing soon, because I'm gonna be broke. Because I definitely be fine buying a 5-pound box from them. Alrighty, so I'm gonna finish cutting up the conch. I got a lot more pieces to cut up, but this is just one, and I use all of the conch, and I do not cook my conch. Let me say this again: I eat my conch raw. I do not cook it at all, because if you cook conch, you're gonna have to, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, thin it out. You know, beat it, make it thin, because conch gets very tough when you cook it, and I don't like tough conch at all. And no, I do not. Damn it, I wish I could know the word, but beat it up and make it thin. I just have my nice little thick conch, and then I just cut it up. I do not cook my conch. I eat my, sometimes I'll even just buy conch and then just cut it up and just have the lemon and lime juice and eat it just like that with the lemon and lime juice. All right, so I'm gonna get ready to cut up the rest of these, and then I'll be right on big. All right, y'all, welcome back. So I just got done cutting up all of my conch. As you can see, I have a whole bunch of conch in here. Like I told you, I like my conch salad, but I have not mixed everything up though. So the onions and the tomatoes are still underneath all of the conch. So I haven't mixed everything up. I don't want you to be like, well, what the hell happened to the tomatoes and the onions? I haven't mixed anything up. So I'm gonna get ready and start adding these 3 to it. Again, once I said, make sure you do test tastes as you add these. Don't just be squirting, and the next thing you know, your conch salad is too spicy. You know, some people do like their conch salad very spicy, some don't. I know I don't. So I had to make sure I don't add too much hot sauce to it. And then I'm not a big fan of lemon and lime. I have to have it with my seafood in order to really like lime, because I don't like lemonade. Like, I just don't. But I don't want my conch salad to be overpowered by lemon and lime. When I first started making conch salad, that was my problem. I wasn't doing taste testing, and next thing you know, I got all this lemon and lime juice in there, and it just overpowered everything. So make sure you're doing tests, taste tests and whatnot, so you don't, mess up your conch salad. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to start adding some of this stuff here. Like, these are already punctured, so you just squirt it in there like that. That's it. Take the lime. Oops, sorry. Squirt in there like that. And there's still quite a bit left in there. Y'all like, well, damn, but it's still quite a bit of left in there. And then add my hot sauce. So yeah, I'm just gonna be adding these stuff here, and then I'll be right back. All right, once it's all good. All right, hold on. I'm gonna cut it off. Let me stop. All right, y'all. So that's it. I'm done. This is my conch salad. I told you it's going to be very conky because I put a lot of conch in there, about 2 pounds. And it's overpowering the tomatoes and the onions just how I like. I added just the right amount of, as you can see, the juice down there. I added just enough that I like, where it's not too lemony, too limey, and not too spicy, not too hot. It's like just about that much. But yeah. So that's it. This is how I make my conch salad, y'all. You can make it any way you want. Just make sure you put conch in it. That's about it. You can add whatever you want. Don't let nobody tell you about, oh, that's not how you make it. You make it like this. That ain't no damn conch. Make your food however the hell you want to make your food. You the one that's eating it. Or if you make it for somebody else, they need to be blessed that you out here cooking for them and making for them. All right, so that's it. I'm done. Y'all go ahead and return back to the video now.